Hey, welcome to Star Night Guitars. My name is Rich Kettner. I've had this T64 about 3 or 4 months now, and I've done a couple of videos on my YouTube channel. One was just playing it unplugged to kind of see how loud it can be. But I also did a video playing with my pedal board using some dirt to see what it sounds like, and it's a very versatile guitar. So I thought now that I've had it for a few months, I'd do a video to kind of say, here's where I'm at now. A few things that I've discovered that might be an issue for other guitar players, and I thought I'd just share this. So, in no particular order. One thing I was unaware of when I got the guitar, I had this sentiment, I had not had the opportunity to play one, is where the body meets the neck. You can get comfortably to the 15th fret. But even here, the 17th fret, the way the body is, it's kind of set into the body. The neck is set into the body. You can't really get higher access. Now, that's not so much an issue for me. I've never played up here. But I think on this guitar, it would really be unplayable unless you have your thumb around this way and play it. I don't even know if that's possible. So that might be an issue for some people. Another thing that I've discovered, I've learned to work around it, and I'm fine with it, but I was unaware of this. P90s, you can't adjust the height of these. And probably everyone else in the world knows that except me. Where my hand typically falls when I pick was right above this pickup. And I would sometimes be clicking on that, as well as hitting the pick guard. I'll come back and talk about the pick guard later. So that was kind of an issue for me. I think with the height of the pickups, them not being adjustable, I had to make some modifications with my picking. I typically have been using Dunlop picks. I think they're called Jazz Tone. This one is a 207. They're really quite big and thick. Problem was, my normal playing position, very often I was hitting the pickup or the pick guard. So what I did was I went to these smaller picks. These are still Dunlop Jazz Tone. I can't even read, I think it's a 204, but you can see it's quite a bit smaller. And the benefit is it's the same exact thickness. It's just less pick between the strings, so I'm not making contact with the pick guard. And that's been great, kind of resolved the issue. Second thing about the pick guard was also kind of low. And was getting in, I sometimes would hit the pickup, but as well hitting the pick guard. So I removed the pick guard. And in doing that, what I found out is I can put my pinky on the face of the guitar. And actually I'm picking almost sometimes back nearer to the bridge pickup, but I'm still getting a beautiful sound. These are Lawler dog ear pickups. I love them. I've never had them before. Just a really great sound. So I'm not missing the pick guard at all. And I think it sounds great. Now, another thing about the guitar, as I said, this had been my main guitar, and I really loved that guitar. And I got this a few months back, and I did a couple of gigs using just this, and I've fallen in love with it. I play instrumental guitar music, kind of leaning toward jazz, a lot of things from the Great American Songbook, and I just record with a looper, and then I play live over that, or I also do some chord melody stuff where I'm just doing, solos myself. And that guitar is great for finger style stuff. This is as well. On the neck pickup, it's just such a warm, beautiful sound. So my point is I almost feel guilty that I've not been using that guitar. But this just kind of does it all. It kind of covers all the bases. I mentioned the access to the higher frets. This is obviously not scientific, but you can see on the John Pisano 380 how, with this Florentine cutaway, how much access you have to the higher frets. With this one, not nearly as much. But this guitar is really beautiful. It's fully hollow. And it is lighter even than this. I used to think the Bassano was very light. This is lighter still. I mentioned earlier, I also needed to make a slight modification to my right hand, my picking hand on this guitar. And I was kind of picking here, typically over the pickup. So what I found is I'm tipping the guitar more like this. I have several friends that do this. And then 2 advantages, or maybe 3 advantages. I've had issues with my back and both collarbones that have broken and some back pain. And with the guitar at this height, one, it's resting on my leg. So even there's a strap on to keep it in place, that kind of helps take the weight off of my shoulders. Secondly, at this angle, as I mentioned, my hand's on the face of the guitar. My hand's in a perfect picking position. Okay. Also, for chords that I play that have wider grips, are easier to play at this angle. Also, I've been experiencing some pain in my wrists. I went about a month ago. I had pain in both wrists, and the doctor said, yes, you have arthritis, and gave me a steroid shot, which was painful, but not a pleasant thing, but that's helped some. And I think having the guitar up like this, my wrist is straighter, I'm having less pain. So, I've had to adjust my playing style a little bit, but I really love the guitar. So the only thing I can say, I mentioned a couple of things, that I've had to make modifications. I saw a video today online about a guy that just got one of these guitars, and he was saying he noticed the case is not as nice as another guitar that he had. He had a T59V, which was maybe 4 years old, and he said that case was a little bit more sturdy. What I found out, the case for this, I think that the molding inside is much more solid, where the guitar is more stable. The problem I had is the handle has this very soft leather. I've only used it 2 or 3 times. At the last gig, I came home, and part of it has come off. It's like so soft, it's peeled off. So I've just put like brown duct tape on it. The case itself is fine, just the handle, the outer leather is kind of coming apart. And even that is still not really an issue because I tend to not use the cases. This guy was making an argument for how Eastman cases used to be nicer several years ago. And I would say just the opposite. I used to have an AR-371, and I thought the case was the one weak link. It was not a very good case. I thought they cut corners on that. I then had the T59V that had a better case. And this one now has a pretty nice case, but the handle is not great. All that's a moot point because I don't tend to use the cases. I have 2 Reunion Blues Continental bags, which costs about $200, but they're great bags. Give it a great amount of protection. I can carry things in there, adjustable shoulder straps that you can tuck away. I can carry my iPad in there, cables, and it's lightweight and it gives it a lot of protection. So in conclusion, if anyone's considering this guitar, I think it's great. As I said, I've had it 3 or 4 months, and sometimes I'll get a guitar and it's kind of a honeymoon period where you really like it at first, and then things like, I don't care for this or care for that. I am loving this guitar. I had a T59V that I really enjoyed, but I kind of quickly realized, wow, it's kind of really heavy. I wish I had a fully hollow guitar. And went back and forth for probably a couple of years thinking, maybe I should sell it. And I just came to a point where life is short. If this guitar is really not what I want, I should get the instrument I want. And I had not played one of these, but I've heard great things about them. And I sold that guitar and got this, and I have no regrets at all. It's very resonant. I love what it sounds like. Love these pickups. It just plays like a dream, and it's very versatile. The T59V was a great, I think more for a rock player or a blues player. The pickups on the T59V are Seymour Duncan Antiquities, which were just incredible, really vibrant pickups. But as far as for jazz, it was kind of passable, but I think this does a much better job. The neck pickup is just beautiful. So warm sounding. But even blending the two of them, or just the back one, I think this is just so much more usable. And it's very comfortable, and it sounds amazing. So I know I'm not playing in this video. There's plenty of posts online. You can hear people playing it. My point is simply I've had it for 4 months. If you're looking for a semi that's lightweight, has a great sound, and again, if you kind of do jazz things, I played through a Hendrickson Blue 6, and it just sounds incredible. But I also have a Boss Katana, a 100, and it sounds great through that. It's just a beautiful guitar, and I'm very, very happy. So one last thing I'd say, and then I'll wrap this up. Another issue with the pickguard, or when I first got this guitar, there were some weird rattles and vibrations on certain notes or certain chords I would play. It was like the more dissonant the chord, the more rattles I would hear. And I have another video where I talk about that, where I chased it down, trying to see where the rattles were. I did things to stabilize the pickups and the tailpiece, and the pickguard was also an issue with that. So taking that off is just one less thing to worry about with the rattling. But as I said, maybe some people would really want the pickguard. I think it looks nicer without it, and I do quite a bit of fingerstyle playing, and it being out of the way kind of frees me up. So I hope you found some of this helpful. If anyone else has one of these guitars, I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions you might have, or something that I can answer that I didn't cover. All the best. Enjoy the journey. God bless.